I didn't want to have this talk, not because I don't agree or disagree, but because I'm just tired of talking about it. But that's okay. I said in an earlier video, I would talk about the good and the bad, and I intend to do that. Today's the bad. Today is one of those days where you are just like, man, you saw it coming, you were hoping it wouldn't happen, but it came anyway. Okay? June 2nd, PSA shutting down anything below regular tier. Okay? That's value, value plus, value max, value bulk. Shutting them down for now, temporarily. Not super stoked about it as a club member. This affects club members more than it does anybody else. That seems to be their go-to when they need to correct stuff, is to stop club members from submitting. I know a lot of people, oh, PSA is a scam, they're this, they're that. I haven't experienced that, okay? I've seen it, but I haven't experienced it myself, so until then, I'll continue grading with them. And if it happens, maybe I'll reconsider. Probably not. The thing that is so important with that is there's a group they have that pays $150 to $199 a year to use their service of bulk submission at a cheaper rate. If you pay the $200 a year, I don't know why I said $199 like it wasn't just $200. If you use the $200 a year, you get like a card ladder subscription, their app, and you get a magazine monthly. If you use the $150, you just get a magazine. Okay, whatever, it's cool. But here's the thing: let's go with the base tier. Pay $150 a month, or sorry, $150 a year. You're currently paying $12.50 a month, essentially, for a paperback magazine, literally printed on cardstock. Okay, it's a good magazine. It's got good information. It's cool, but like it's probably $5 of material. Actually, it's probably $2 of material. It doesn't seem fair. You know, let's come back to that part. Let's talk about what's actually happening. So they shut down all the way up to regular. You now have, let's see, regular express, super express, walk through and up, the highest of high tiers. That means the lowest barrier of entry into grading with PSA right now is $80. Is it going to slow down grading? Absolutely. Yes. Why? Pretty simple. Not a lot of people are going to pay $80 to grade something like this, because in a 10, it's only worth $90. So after you pay for the card, pay for shipping, pay for the grading, get it back, if it's not a 10, you just wasted $80. If it is a 10, you made $10 after waiting 4 or 5 months. I'm using 4 or 5 months because they've upped their turnaround time on the 2 lowest available tiers. Not a huge deal. If you're in business of grading, flipping, and return and like reselling, and that's all you do right now, you're pretty cooked. Okay. Yeah, you're just pretty cooked if you're one of these people. If you grade for fun, well, you probably don't care, and that's fine. I wouldn't either. It doesn't bother me, other than the fact that I have a membership here, and my membership is being negatively impacted, even though I paid for that. That is one where y'all could say PSA is this, this, and this, and I would agree with you, because this is BS. The good stuff, why it's good, they got to catch up. They do. They're doing this because they have a 10 million card backup. Okay? I need you to hear that correctly. They grade other things other than cards, magazines, certain collectible items. Okay? They have 10 million cards backed up that they can't get to. I completely understand why they are doing what they're doing, but doesn't mean I have to like it. Neither do you. What they're trying to do is retain their ability to do what they say. They put out a newsletter saying they were backed up, times were going to be extended, this, that, and the other. People did not respond how they thought they would. They made this very clear. You know how people responded? They sent more. So if you're one of these people who did send more and you're all pissed off about this, good job, your fault. Some of it anyway. It's just all there is. They said after they said, hey, it's got to be 50 cards or more, I guess people took that as, hey, they'll eventually shut it down, so send it all. So they got a huge influx. It happens. Oh well. Let's be real, guys. We can only control so much. This is not one of those things. Their original changes just didn't work. It didn't happen. It's one of those things where they tried to slow stuff down. It didn't work. The next thing they do is they just cut off the source. If you're mad at them for that, but you're like, oh, Tag did it because they need to catch up and this, that, and the other. Yep, you're a hypocrite. Okay, let's just get that out. I don't care if you're upset about that or not. Talk shit to me in the comments. Just know I talk back. I'm not a PSA lover. I'm not a hater. I prefer PSA to the rest. After what I went through with Beckett, I got my card back finally. If you haven't seen that saga, go watch it. You want to talk about bad customer service? Beckett lives and breathes that. I got it back. Not what I wanted. Just saying. I get it. Not my fault. I could send it to PSA and get a 10. I'll say that, which means 9.5. Okay. Not going to do a video on it. Y'all have seen the DBZ card. I'm going to sell it this weekend when I go to a card show. Or try. Anyway, let's talk about the other stuff. How long is this going to last? We don't know. Back in 2020, we didn't know. They did this in 2020. And to catch up, they're not basing it off a date. Okay. No arbitrary number there. They're basing it off of, let's call it milestones. Okay. They're at 10 million cards. They're trying to get down to 5 million cards before they reopen those bulk things. I've got some opinions on that. We'll talk about it in just a second. But let me tell you all how this works, okay? The reason that this works is because of how submissions work, okay? If you don't know, I feel like most people do, but if you don't, if you send a bulk submission of 25 cards, you send it at, let's say, the lowest level, okay? You're here. People are sending them in. Yours is going up. Theirs is coming in under it because it came in after yours. Oh, wait. Some guy just sent in a value max submission. Okay. Because of the time period, that takes precedent of somewhere where it falls and it can land. So like say this order, say value max is a 15-day turnaround. Okay. I don't know the exacts. I'm just using, okay. So your order that you sent in has 20 days to finish. Okay. 15-day turnaround goes above that. Everything below that goes down. All right. Then they keep going. You got your value max guy here, you here, y'all keep going, you're going. And then somebody else comes through and they have another value max order. A day later, that goes above you again, goes below this guy. You have 2 orders here and you're going down. Okay. And then they start going back up. So those things can get reset pretty periodically. And obviously at some point, like somebody will submit something and it'll line up to where these 2 guys keep going and you keep going. And the new value max guy will be under you, but he'll be above the other guys who submitted value bulk. All right. It's based on a timetable. So, it goes up and it kind of can go down in a way. It doesn't really go down. It just stops and something else goes up and then they all go up again. It's a weird system. I get it. It's not everybody's favorite from any of the grading companies, but it does happen. So that's how it works. The things I don't agree with are the fact that I have to pay I'm paying a fee, and instead of giving me a refund, which they say they don't do, like here's 3 free months of a magazine. Cool. Here's 3 free months of your subscription. That's great, except I can't use it. So pretty much what you're doing is kind of insulting. Not happy about that one, but I'm going to let it go. There's really nothing you can do about it. It even says in their terms of service, when you agree to pay this, that they can't refund it. The issue I have is not that PSA shut off their bulk stuff. Like I said, if you are, oh, go tag, y'all did it to catch up, but PSA, you're a shitty company, you're a hypocrite. Don't like it, whatever. Let me know. What I do like is PSA is taking their time to try to catch up, which will eventually mean we kind of reset and we go back to where you can get your stuff in a timely manner. They're trying to expand. They're talking about this being 4 months. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really highly doubt that. 6 months minimum is where I'm thinking. It is what it is. They're growing. They've got to expand. People are grading more than ever, et cetera, et cetera. We've talked about this. I get it. I mean, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Let's get to the real point of like what the outcome's going to be. PSA slabs are going to go up in price because there's no new stuff coming out to quell the demand of that market now. So like any one of these cards, let's go with the Blaziken. This one right here. Okay. Not a really expensive card, like $120 in a 10. If there's no more of these coming onto the market, people are going to be like, oh, well, I might not be able to get this for the next 6 months and I really want it. They're going to pay a little bit higher. Then the market's going to match that. They're going to pay a little bit higher to get more, et cetera, et cetera. Prices of these are going to go up. If you're holding stacks of, Blaziken from Destined Rivals, you might have just hit the jackpot. I'm just using that as an example. If you're a person that has a ton of slabs, you have multiple, repeat copies, you might be into some money now. It is what it is. I really didn't want to make this video. I had a different video planned for this week, but this happened and I felt like it was more important to talk about. I did make a promise to y'all that I would talk about the good and the bad, and this is just one of those things that's the bad. You do not have to agree. We live in a society so strong on, in order for us to get along, you have to agree, you have to have the exact same values, morals, et cetera, in order to just even coexist with each other. Okay? We don't. We do not have to have the same opinions, the same outlook, the same this, the same that, to realize that we have a common ground of what is Pokemon. Say, hey, we really like Pokemon. It doesn't matter how you like it. Slabs, video games, plushies, it doesn't matter. We live in a world where we're constantly just trying to separate ourselves from each other because we don't have the exact same views. But really, ultimately, you and I could sit down. You could teach me about the TCG. I could teach you about collecting. You could teach me about plushies and merch and stuff like that. Other collectibles outside of the TCG. And I could teach you about the video game. That's all it is. We're so close-minded that instead of saying, hey, PSA is doing a good thing to try and catch up to better serve its customers, that we go, oh, they're failing. Ha ha. It's not it. It's not it. If you're one of those people, like I said, talk shit in the comments. Just be ready because I'm coming back. Okay? Cool. I got to go to work. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.